Hello, everyone, and welcome to Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide's online service. We want to let you know wherever you are on your journey of spirit, you are welcome, loved, and accepted. This is a way of life where we honor all paths to God. Now is the time we take a deep breath, we quiet our minds, and we quiet our bodies. We prepare ourselves for service. In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. And there's quite enough peace, quite enough power to walk through my every fear. For spirit, one spirit, is in this very room. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. And there's quite enough peace, quite enough power to walk through our every fear. For spirit, one spirit, is in this very room. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough peace, quite enough power to walk through our every fear. For spirit, one spirit, is in this very room. Is in this very room. Oh yes, there's quite enough love, quite enough peace, and quite enough power right here in this very place. Give me one moment in time when I know that I knew I could be. Oh, why then, in that one moment in time, I will be. Oh yes, we will be. We will be free. Oh, you're a winner for a lifetime. When you live each moment in time, let it shine. Give me one moment in time when I'm all that I knew I could be. Oh, I did in that one moment in time. I will be. Oh yes, we will be. We will be free. Oh, yes, we will be free. Yes, we will be free. Well, once again, hello everyone, and welcome to Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide's online service. As I said in the beginning, wherever you are on your journey of spirit, you are welcome, loved, and accepted. This is a way of life where we honor all paths to God. Our mission is to heal, inspire, empower, and prosper the world through love, prayer, meditation, and by sharing the principles and applications of successful living. Now, I know on this special day, we have so many out there that are celebrating wonderful celebrations. And we want you to know that we are sending our love and blessings to you today on your special day. Also, if you or someone you know may be in need of affirmative prayer, please place it in the comment box and know our ministry of prayer will pray over it for 30 days because we do know affirmative prayer does change things. Also, I want to remind you on Wednesday night, Dr. Sharon's Spirit, Mind, and Body Connection. This month it has been on sacred contracts. So please tune in at 7:30. You can find her on Facebook, StreamYard, YouTube. So check her out. And I know you will find a message in there just for you. Now, I'm looking out there. I see. Oh, you're new. You're new. Well, I know you're going, well, what is Interfaith Spiritual Center all about? Well, you know what? At this time, we're going to tell you what we believe. Are you ready? What we believe. We believe in God, the one power, presence, source, and substance of all that is, whose will for us is eternal bliss, love, health, prosperity, and good fortune. We believe the power and presence of God is within us, and that we can use that power to accomplish anything through our desires, beliefs, thoughts, words, and actions. We believe there are many paths to God. We embrace and support every person's right to worship as he or she chooses. We believe we are eternal and are given unlimited opportunities to succeed and attain our heartfelt desires and goals through prayer, meditation, and by practicing the principles of successful living. We believe that heaven is first a state of mind that we can attain now and forever. We believe in the law of life that states we get back what we give out. We believe that as our humanness gives way to the divine, the Christ consciousness arises triumphant and victorious. And so it is beautiful. Now you have a little more understanding of who we are. And I was so glad that you could join us today. Of course, you know, we're still in, this is our last Sunday of September, and our theme for this month has been sacred contracts. I'm going to state our affirmation, and then if you'd love to, please repeat it after me. I accept the call of my divine destiny and move forward in love, peace, power, and presence. And so it is. Join me. I accept the call of my divine destiny and move forward in love, peace, power, and presence. And so it is. Beautiful. Thank you so much for your kind attention. At this time, Dr. Sharon's going to come up and give you a beautiful meditation. Thank you.
Good morning. and welcome to Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide, where we believe there's a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it, and we are using it every single day of our lives, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. This is why I love our way of life, is that we're a choice and that we are forever evolving, we're growing, we're expanding our consciousness to be in the world, yet of a higher vibratory frequency, not of it. And so this morning, as I share our Sunday meditation, just open your hearts. Today, we're making the longest journey on the planet, the 18-inch journey from the head to the heart. Remember, the heart is the doorway to the soul. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So let's take a deep cleansing breath all the way down to the soles of our feet. Breathe in the good, the true, and the beautiful, whatever you conceive that to be for you. This is the day the Lord hath made. Let us consciously choose to rejoice and be glad in it. It is a gift from God. And what we make of this thing called life is our gift back to God. Breathing in and breathing out. Letting go and letting God do what God does best by means of each and every one of us who heard the call and answered. Before they call, I will answer, and while they're yet speaking, I will hear. Be still and know that I am God, that each and every one of us is a co-creator with this amazing ultimate energy of the universe. And as we breathe deeply all the way down to the soles of our feet, remembering that the psalmist said that there is a spirit within man and within woman, and the breath of the Almighty hath given them life and understanding. Through this sacred understanding, we acknowledge all paths that lead to God are good. That right now, somewhere in the world, a Jew is saying her prayers, a Hindu is chanting a mantra, and a Buddhist is kneeling at her sacred shrine. Right now, at this very moment, someone is lighting a candle in a cathedral. Someone is making their Hajj toward Mecca, for it is the will of Allah. And yet someone else is lighting a fire in a jungle, repeating an ancient mystical drama. Many, many pathways up the mountaintop, and the view is always the same from the summit. In the dawning of the spiritual sun, for a moment all faiths became as one. The Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, Jew became as one and somehow knew that mystic voice that calls to me, oh, yonder, yonder person, I am thee. We are one. This oneness moves beyond color, race, creed, sexual orientation, and political affiliation. Feel the energy of this oneness as we let go, even on a deeper level. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all good things are added unto you. That's right. Mentally and emotionally, let us align and affirm this morning, I am in perfect peace. My mind is stayed on thee. My mind is stayed on what is life-giving and life-affirming. I build on that. Physically, I know my body is the temple of the living God, of which and through whom which I do such a good work. And let us align this morning, and I'm putting in mind there are certain beautiful souls in our community that are moving through dis-ease within the body temple. And what I know is that which needs to be healed is healed, that which needs to be revealed is revealed, that which needs to be known is known, and that which needs to be released is released quickly, gently, and with grace. For eye hath not seen nor ear heard, neither hath entered into the heart of humanity the things which God hath prepared for them that love. Love being the strongest healing power in the universe. And we are told, if we could love enough, we would be the most powerful beings in the universe. Relationally, you are as close to God as I am ever going to get. And I am as close to God as you are ever going to get. And if I am in that place in me and you are in that place in you, there truly is only one of us. Let us forever embrace the one great artist who painted my portrait on the soft canvas of your eyes. We are one. And I want to add, if there's anyone viewing this morning that possibly cried themselves to sleep last night, know that you are not alone. The love of God surrounds you, the light of God enfolds you, the power of God protects you, and the presence of God watches over you. That wherever you are, God is. This is the truth for you and with you. And as we go into the financial area this morning, let us declare and know God is my source. We bless every avenue, every channel in which our good flows, realizing the source of this is God. Whatever we conceive our God to be, whatever name we put on our higher power, it matters not, but to acknowledge that which is within us is greater than that which resides in the world of conditions, appearances that show up, and the effects of life. That we raise our vibrational frequency to an octave of love and light. Peace, shalom. Peace, shante. Peace, salam. Peace, pax. Peace, friden. Peace, 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 peace. Thank you. And for our commentary today, our spiritual commentary, we have a very, very special guest. He was ordained last year on November 22nd and has totally embodied his ordination vows at such a deep and high level. It's just wonderful. And there is an unfoldment here. And there is such an amazing opening of a portal. And of course, people think, oh, you're an overnight success. Oh yeah, there is like 35 years prior to that. And some wonderful things are happening to the Reverend Prince Fleet Easton, who is our commentator, our spiritual commentator today. And I'm so grateful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Sharon asked me to speak today and tell you about our sacred agreements. Well, so many of you know that I'm a singer, an actor, a dancer. I wear many, many hats in this business. But as a child growing up in Akron, Ohio, I always knew what I was going to do. I always knew I was going to be a singer and a dancer, just didn't know how to get there. But all through my growing up years, I was always singing and dancing around the house on my journey to where I am today. And in 2000, I started singing at a spiritual center, and that's when the awakening really started happening, when I had my voice start speaking to me. And at first, I was very apprehensive, didn't understand it. I would argue with it, but I learned that if I listen, it's going to guide me exactly where I'm supposed to be and to my successes. It led me to my beautiful album that I put out. It guided it step by step. And then in 2007, I was singing with a 52-piece orchestra in Florida, and the voice came in and said, "You must go to Palm Springs, California. You must be there to meet the people who are going to take you to the next place in your life and career." I didn't know anybody here. And at that time, I had 5 major jobs in Florida. I was singing with an opera company. I was performing with a theatrical company. I was doing the voice of NASA radio, giving reports on the space shuttle launches and landings. I was also singing with the Space Coast Pops Orchestra. So I was wearing many, and I also was co-hosting a television show called Bavard Notes. So I was wearing many hats. But when the voice spoke to me on that night, when I was singing in front of 5,000 people, I did argue with it. Now, that was a time I did argue with it. I said, please, I'm trying to focus here and concentrate, because anyone who knows, whoever has sang with orchestras, you get a 5-minute rehearsal, then you are on. So I'm really concentrating on what I'm singing, like I said, for 5,000 people. And it's really being relentless, saying, you've got to go. So I thought, oh my goodness, I don't know anybody, but I know I have to fulfill this destiny. So I left all of my jobs. Everyone was a little not happy about it, but I said, it's going to be okay. This is what I'm supposed to do. And as I drove all the way across the country by myself, 3,000 miles, and everybody kept, it was funny. Everybody kept saying, oh, you can't do this. You can't. I said, I drive 400 miles a day driving to Orlando, from the east coast of Florida to Orlando. I said, well, what if I just keep going 400 miles every day and traveling in a straight line? I know I'll reach my destiny. It took me 6 days, and I actually had landed a position to sing in a cabaret show, and I had to go on that night. And I want to tell you, it was a challenge. I don't remember what happened. I was like a walking zombie, but you know what? When you're a professional at what you do, you just go into automatic pilot and it happens. Well, since that time, I've been here now 15 years, and so many things have happened. I was very fortunate that the agreement unfolded for me. It landed me with a star on the Palm Springs Walk of Stars. It made me a prince. Little did I know, growing up in Akron, Ohio, as a little boy, that one day I would be made a prince and be known as the Prince of Palm Springs. And had a coronation. Yes, exactly. And now things are moving forward for me now. I've got many opportunities. I'm the opening act for the Trini Lopez tribute show, and we're going to be traveling all over. There's opportunities to go out of the country now, which I'm very excited, and 2 movies that have completed, and I'm singing in the soundtrack of one of them. But what's really exciting is yesterday I performed for the Motion Picture Academy celebration, the museum's pre-opening celebration. They had several of them, and I performed for the one in Riverside County. But they presented me with a book. Beautiful. See this? It's called Camera, Lights, Action, and it's the history of Hollywood from then and now. And guess what? I am in the book, The Prince. And I love it. It says, the world has fallen in love with Prince. I said, well, it says I'm heavenly. So I guess they must know what they're talking about. And I agree. And I said, look it, I'm right across from Elvis. So I'm in good company. So, as we were talking about the agreement, that I always knew that I was going to do something in this business, and I knew I had a destiny, just didn't know how to get there. But I never gave up the belief that it wouldn't happen, and I just kept persevering. And all my life, I've always said, if you keep doing it long enough, you're going to make a mark somewhere. And I've made my mark now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I was very honored. And it's just getting bigger. It's just growing and growing. And you know what? Also, I want to also give a shout out to Lori Davis, who I've been working with on self-worth. And through taking her courses, it has helped me to realize who I am, and for me to step into that, and without any fear of not feeling that I'm not good enough, because we all do that. We do that to ourselves at times. We compare ourselves with others, and we think, well, how can I do that? How am I good enough? And I always had that little voice behind me, even though I knew what I was going to do, but that humanist voice inside of me would say, do you really think you're good enough? Do you really think you're good enough? Well, Lori Davis helped me move through all that, and look what's happening now. I'm just soaring, and I am so grateful. I want to thank her. I want to thank Dr. Sharon. I want to thank God for guiding me. I want my spirit, my higher consciousness. They all are playing a part of this. So now, without that further anymore, I'm going to tell you that this is the moment, and this is my time. This is a moment, this is a day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here now today. This is the moment, this is the time, when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance, to gather up my past and make some sense of it at last. This is a moment when all I've done, why all of the screaming, scheming, and dreaming become one. This is the day, see it sparkle and shine, when all I live for becomes mine. For all the years I faced the world alone, now the time has come that I can prove to them I've made it on my own. This is a moment, my final test. Why destiny beckoned, I never reckoned was second best. When I look back, I will always recall that this was a moment, the greatest moment of them all. Why, this is a moment, damn all the odds. Why, this day or never, I'll set forever with my God. When I look back, I'll always recall that this was a moment, the sweetest moment, my greatest moment of them all. This is my moment. Thank you so much, everyone. And now Dr. Sharon's going to give us a beautiful lesson. Thank you.
Wasn't that wonderful? I love it. Okay. Again, wasn't that wonderful? Your journey has been just amazing. And he came to Interfaith 14 years ago and from another ministry that he thought he was going to be involved in. And it was not a vibrational match. So someone from Canada called him and said, you need to go over to Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide. I think that's more of a vibrational match for you. And so he did that. And I just said, well, sing something. So a cappella, he went into, one of his wonderful songs. And I said, you're hired, right? And that was 14 years ago. So it's been a wonderful partnership and just seeing the evolution of this beautiful soul and moving into, of course, his destiny. So this morning, the topic is sacred agreements. The theme for the month has been sacred contracts. And of course, Carolyn Myss wrote a beautiful book on sacred contracts. But sacred contracts have been around really for 2,000 years, that each and every one of us has a destiny to fulfill. We hear that call, we answer that call, we step up to life, and our life unfolds. And when we talk about be still and know that I am God, the psalmist from 46:10, be still and know that I am God, that each and every one of us is a co-creator with God. And that if we are created in the image and likeness of something so powerful, so magnificent, so wonderful, then energetically we arise in the energy of our true spiritual stature. So these sacred contracts and agreements, like I used to think I would never have chosen the parents and the family, that I had to be raised in domestic violence. But the truth is, every single one of us choose our path to learn, to grow, to evolve, and to expand our consciousness so that we can be like the ancient bodhisattva who entered the marketplace with healing, helping hands. So as we embody the energy of spirituality, the ground of being, taking responsibility for all that we have experienced, and of course, to heal the issues of the wounded child so that we don't carry that within every relationship that we encounter, that we embrace. And it is interesting that when we have unfinished business, that we attract the people into our lives that bring it up. And we think, it's about them. But the truth is, it's about us and what we need to learn, what we need to move through on the other side. What archetype are we manifesting at that moment? And the ruler archetype is about self-rule. It's about going within. It's about opening to the magician archetype that can transform the routines of work into celebrations of life and love. That's what the magician archetype does. And so this morning, as we look at our sacred agreements that and I want to acknowledge our viewing audience, that when I look out, I'm not just looking into a camera. There's a little green light, right? Green for go. And the eye in which I see God is the same eye in which God sees me. And that through this energy of God, whatever you choose to call your God, whatever name you put on your higher power, it matters not. But to acknowledge that which is within us is greater than that which resides in the world of the appearances that show up, that we so often give our power away to, don't we? But these sacred agreements, when I was 11 years old, I've shared that I turned the sandbox over. It was my first pulpit and, had a nice energy about it. And that I could put pictures on the side that was facing the ground. That became my first pulpit at 11 years old. So we all come in with a destiny to fulfill. And what is so interesting is that when my mother discovered that she was with child, with me, that she went and visited. She lived in Oklahoma, and my father was in World War II. And she went to visit some of his relatives. And in those days, anyone with mental health issues was an embarrassment and had to be hidden away. And she said in a little hovel in the backyard was this family member, this relative of my father's, who had mental health issues. And she said that they had him hidden away and that she caught a glimpse of him and that, he absolutely had mental health issues. And she said at that moment, fear struck. And she just looked up. Now, this is an 18-year-old girl. She looked up and she said, "Dear God, please make my baby healthy and perfect, and I'll dedicate him to you." And little did she know, she had a daughter, but she named me after the Rose of Sharon from the Song of Solomon. I am the Rose of Sharon and the lily of the valley. As the lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. As the lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. So she decreed it. It's like we had a sacred agreement for me to come in to this planet and to minister. And through the domestic violence and my sister taking her own life and everything that was experienced in that environment, which was very tragic at times, that I made choices. And I found In fact, my mother, when I was 19, gave me a book, The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. And when I was president of United Clergy of Religious Science, and I was the first female president of the School of Ministry at the Ernest Holmes College, I was seated next to Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, and I had the opportunity to share with him that I was going through a very dark period in my life at 19 years old. My mother gave me his book because it had helped her so much, and it made the shift. And here he was at a United Church of Religious Science banquet honoring him. And what was so powerful about this is that I really got to bare my soul and give gratitude to someone who changed my life. And then finding Science of Mind, walking in and having the minister say, Dr. Guy Lorraine said, "You have a right to be here. You're no less than the sun, the trees, and the stars. You are worthy." And all those insecurities of being raised in domestic violence began to melt as I took all of the Science of Mind courses until there was nothing more to take except the School of Ministry, which I just kind of entered in as an avocation, and then realized that this truly is where I am to be. This is fulfilling my destiny. And I had a date with destiny. I became more and more aware of it. There is an amazing, when we look at these sacred agreements, there is a family that lived in the Midwest, the Kushners, and they were actually Russian immigrants. And they came from Russia so they could experience religious freedom. And at their very first Christmas there, and it was a really beautiful neighborhood, 2-story houses and beautiful lawns, and there was an atmosphere. And as everyone put out their Christmas lights and their Santas and their bells and angels, they put in their window a menorah. And it was the third night of Hanukkah, and she was an electric menorah, very beautiful. And she had it in the window, and she twisted the light. It was the third night of Hanukkah. And at 4:30 in the morning, some teenagers that had really gotten into a crowd in a very lower vibratory frequency that were white supremacists. And at 4:30 in the morning, the three guys got out, they took a baseball bat, and they broke the window, and the menorah went flying on the ground. Well, this was devastating. This is what happened in Russia, because when the communist regime went in and said, what did it was, I believe Marx that said, religion is the opiate of the people. And so it was frowned upon. They could not practice their Judaism openly in Russia. So they immigrated to the United States, to the Midwest, so that they could experience and embrace religious freedom. And here at 4:30 in the morning, window broken, menorah, on the floor with all of the glass. Well, one of the neighbors heard about it, and she was like outraged. What can I do? She came to their door and she said, if there's anything I can do, please let me know. And of course, Mrs. Kushner was in tears and was just devastated by this. So this neighbor took it upon herself. We look at sacred agreements here. Took it upon herself. She went to the department store and she said, how many electric menorahs do you have in stock? They said, I think we have about 8. She said, I'll take them all. And she bought 8 menorahs, these electric menorahs. And then she received a call from another neighbor saying, I had this idea of going to the department stores and various shops and buying the electric menorahs for everybody in the neighborhood to put in their windows as a sign of solidarity, and that we do not accept this in our neighborhood. And she said, wow, I wasn't alone. So together, where 2 or 3 are gathered, there I am in the midst of them. Together, they bought 18 electric menorahs. And she said, were knocking on doors in the neighborhood, sharing what happened. And a lot of people hadn't heard about it, but they thought it was absolutely outrageous that this could happen in their neighborhood, and said, yes, we will put it in our window. So 18 neighbors put the electric menorahs in their windows, so that when Mrs. Kushner came home from work that evening and she turned onto her street, and every single house, there was lit in the window a menorah, and tears just flowed from her eyes. She was so deeply moved. This would never have happened in Russia. So deeply moved. And so she called the one neighbor that extended herself and said, we have a gift for our neighbors. Would you please come for a visit? And she and her friend that called her went over, and she had little Christmas bags. And in the bag were little Christmas ornaments of a church. And written on the church, on the front door of the church, of this Christmas ornament, was peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. With God as my Father, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Peace on earth. The peace that passes all understanding. And the neighbors were so moved. And the one said, they've continued this ritual every single year. And she said, when I place the little church on my Christmas tree and I see the peace on earth, I realize our oneness. I realize that we can all live together in peace and harmony. That this sacred agreement that these Russians came to this country to experience religious freedom. And this was an interview that I experienced, and they interviewed the Rabbi Strong, and he said this was so reminiscent of World War II, that when the Danish country became occupied with the German Nazis, that the King of Denmark said, we are all Danes. Everyone will wear this gold star that says Jew, because we are all Danes. And he ordered the country that every single person wore that gold star that said Jew, to be in solidarity with their Danish Jewish country men and women. This is so deeply moving when he shared this, because the truth is that we are all one, regardless of color, race, creed, sexual orientation, and political affiliation. That the ground of being is spirituality that transcends religion. And that as we practice, as we, many, many pathways up the mountaintop, but the view is always the same from the summit. That we are all one. So when you look at your life, take responsibility that these are sacred agreements. And if there's pain and suffering, as Dostoevsky said, that I may be worthy of my sufferings, redeemed in my suffering, so that I can be like the ancient bodhisattva and go out into the marketplace with healing, helping hands to help my brothers and sisters. Am I my brother's keeper? Am I my sister's keeper? I am my brother. I am my sister. We are one. What happens to the one happens to the all. And what happens to the all happens to the one. The breath of God, the breath within us, the breath of God is the breath that flows through us. So we breathe this energy of light, and the opportunity that we have at such a deep level to take a stand in our own lives, not be at the effect of it, but realize we have a sacred agreement. And through this sacred agreement, we grow, we unfold, we become all that we can be. So today, as we look at our lives and the opportunity that we have, as Reverend Prince Fleet said, that he heard the voice that said, go to Palm Springs, and that he listened. And he got in his car and drove 400 miles a day for 6 days, and he made it. But the first place that he went to, he wasn't received. And the disciples said to Jesus, what if we knock on these doors? You want us to go and preach the gospel to all the nations, and what if we knock on these doors and we're not received? Jesus said, then wipe the dust from off thy shoes and go thy way in peace. And so he wiped the dust from off his shoes. He came over to Interfaith, and everything was unfolding for him in these 14 years. And we have loved and supported him and been at almost every wonderful event that he has graced his own life and us, and the opportunity that we have to support each other. So on this amazing day, let's just open to spirit. Let's acknowledge there is a spirit within all humanity, and the breath of the Almighty hath given us life and understanding. And through this sacred understanding, we acknowledge our oneness. We acknowledge the opportunity that we have to be in the world, yet of a higher spiritual vibratory frequency. And that we're lighting the menorahs from within, aren't we? We're lighting the energy from within. And we let our light so shine before humanity that they see our good works and they glorify our Father, Mother God in the heaven of our own consciousness. And that does make all the difference. I say to you, we're all going someplace. We're all on a path and on a journey. Where are we going? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. Because we are in a high place and we will not come down. None of these outer things move us. We are in a high place and we will not come down. I say namaste. The divinity within me salutes the divinity within you, and the divinity within you salutes the divinity within me. And if I'm in that place in me and you are in that place in you, there truly is only one of us. Namaste. And I say to you, shalom, the peace that passes all understanding, and God bless us, everyone. Thank you so much for being with me this morning. Thank you. And now I turn it over to the Reverend Prince Fleet Easton, who is going to sing a song. I wanted him to just share that Dr. Roger Bambanek's father passed away this week. And Dr. Roger's favorite song is His Eye is on the Sparrow, and I know He watches me. So our Prince Fleet was singing it this morning, and I just said, oh, no one sings this like you do. Wow. So we love you, Dr. Roger, and we're with you and your family, with Jacqueline, your sister, who has been part of our ministry. And we know that you're back in the Midwest now, and we just send our love and our blessings, and we love you.
Sometimes I feel discouraged. Sometimes the shadows come, but I am never lonely, for I have my heaven and home. God, He is my portion, my constant friend is He. For His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. For His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. Yes, I sing because I'm free. For His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. Let not your heart be troubled. His tender words we hear, and resting on His goodness, I lose my doubts and fears. For by the path He leadeth, but one step I may see. For His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. For His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. 'Cause I sing, for I am happy. Yes, and I sing because I'm free. Yes, His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. For His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. That's for you, Roger and Jacqueline. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Sharon will take our offering.
This is our time of giving and receiving. And I want to thank each and every one of you who have been giving your love offerings, your tithes, your financial support. And I've shared with you so many times that we have not received a physical offering since March of 2020. And because of you and our interfaith angel, our doors are open. This message goes out. This is a universal message of love, and oneness. Let's tip the scales in favor of spirituality and world peace. And you know, I am the president of the International Foundation for World Peace. I've been all over the world speaking on world peace. I am an idealist. I believe peace is possible. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with you and me. So today, as we take this offering, just place it in your hand, or just, you know, we like to kind of do this to send out energy, and repeat after me. I give this gift with love and joy.
I give this gift with love and joy.
I give this gift as a sacred expression of who I am.
I give this gift as a sacred expression of who I am.
In giving to God, I give to myself.
In giving to God, I give to myself.
I give thanks for the abundance that is mine.
I give thanks for the abundance of mine.
And so it is.
And so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. And we just say, thank you, Father, Mother God, for the energy, the generosity given on this glorious Sunday. We receive these gifts pressed down, shaken together, and flowing over into every area of our life. For we know the same opening we give through is the same opening we receive through. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for the abundance that is ours. And so it is.
And so
Amen.
it is. Amen.
And now Fleet is going to lead us in our wonderful closing anthem, Shower the People with Love. Our Reverend Prince Fleet and Miss Minnie.
Oh, I gotta get Minnie. Go ahead. Talk about
Yes.
yourself.
Okay. Yeah, here she is. She's been such a good girl this morning,
She was
too.
good,
She
yes.
really has. And we're just so blessed. All right.
Are you ready, Minnie? Is your voice all warmed up? You've been sleeping there for a little while. You can play the game, you can act out the part, though you know it wasn't written for you. But tell me how you're gonna stand there with a broken heart, ashamed of playing the fool. You know one thing can lead to another. It doesn't take any sacrifice. Oh, father and mother, sister and brother, if it feels nice, do it twice. And just shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. What I mean to say is, shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. You know you can run, but you can't hide. This is widely known. And what you plan to do with your foolish pride when you're all by yourself, all alone. You know, once you tell somebody the way you feel, you can feel it beginning to ease. I guess it's true what Minnie says about the squeaky wheel. She says it's always getting the grease. So you better shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. What we mean to say is, shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Ooh. Here we go. Are you ready? Shower love. Show them the way that you feel. Take it away.
Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel.
Just shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Make it rain. Rain kisses love. Rain kisses love. Make it rain. Kisses love. Well, once again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here today at Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide Online Service. As I said in the beginning, wherever you are on your journey of spirit, you are welcome, loved, and accepted. Isn't that right, Minnie?
Yes, it is.
So we're going to send all of our blessings out there to you today. And I want to also, one more thing, I want to remind you on Wednesday night, Dr. Sharon's Spirit, Mind, and Body Connection on Sacred Contracts at 7:30. So tune in for that. Well, did we have a good day today, Minnie?
Yes, we did.
We did. See that? Well, you slept the whole time. You were sleeping on my lap.
I know, but I was really listening.
Oh, all right. Well, should we say goodbye to everyone? Okay. Are you ready? Here we go.
Bye-bye.
Here we go. Blow kisses. Mwah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Take care. God bless. And know you are loved right here at Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide. Goodbye.